massive game. It's just a rivalry. We'll talk about big rivalry games. You know how big of a game this is in college basketball, right? So two teams kind of reeling a little bit. Duke, you in the driver's seat. You was 4-1 in the ACC, right? You kind of blew that a little bit against Virginia. Your offense struggled a little bit. The week before you lost to UConn, your defense struggled, gave up 37 points, right? So you're missing different pieces and stuff like that. And you're giving up too many points. That one against Virginia, your offense kind of got shut down a little bit, right? Darian Mensah, 18 for 36, or 18 for something. 35. He struggled completing passes in that game. He's had a strong season, but struggled obviously against a very good Virginia defense. Well, obviously led by Cam Robinson, Jason Pavard, Devin Neal struggled against them boys, right? So in this one, right, can you get Nate Shepherd back on track, right? He's had a good true freshman season, but you need him to be a little bit more of a consistent runner, right? And you got to get him going. You know what I'm saying? Now, North Carolina, they still figuring stuff out. I think next year you see the year they take that step forward. Humbly, right? But they picked up some cool wins, right? Lost to Wake Forest here recently. Gio Lopez has been kind of up and down, but we know that Duke has a really good, strong defensive front, right? They really do. If they can get after you, they can make your life terrible, right? And if you have a defensive line that can't really, or offensive line that can't really block, it could be a long day for you. They got two really good ends, starting with Vincent Anthony Jr. I think he has, let me make sure I got my stats right. I think he has 6.5 sacks. He's had a good year, right? So where Duke's susceptible is their secondary, right? But a good pass rush can make up for that because then you ain't got to cover as long, right? So North Carolina has to have a plan offensively to stop Vincent Anthony Jr., to stop some of their edge rushers, or it could be a long day. You know what I'm saying? So that's the part that they kind of have to figure out, if UNC wants to have a chance to win this game. You know what I'm saying? But if you do, you blew some golden opportunities for yourself this year, right? You could have been in that conversation for ACC title game. Unfortunate losses, obviously, this year. Offense didn't play up to snuff as it should in some of the games. Defense didn't pull or hold their weight. So you're going to look at this season as a lost opportunities and stuff like that. But you got the pieces in place in order to succeed, obviously, for the future. You should have Darian Mensah unless he hits the quarterback for at least another year. You'll have back Nate Shepherd out for another year. You have to play some of that production on the defensive line, obviously, of course, but you got good pieces moving forward, right? So, yeah, this game's going to come down to, can North Carolina block the defensive front, right? Can they get going offensively? Can Gio Lopez be a little bit more consistent as a passer for, obviously, the Tar Heels? That's going to be something to watch for. And can they get the ground game going a little bit to kind of help with that play action and hit those shots, obviously, over top of some of those defenses? Because remember, their defense of secondary is more susceptible to big plays. What helps and aids in that is the pressure that they can create. And if you do get Nate Shepherd going and leaning on the, obviously, deep threats down the field, and Cooper Bakar, who's had a pretty good year, transferred over, that's what you got to do if you do. You got the quarterback. One of the top quarterbacks, man, in passing yards this year, right? He can sling that thing, right? He just has to come up bigger in some of those bigger games. If Mensah can do that more consistently, he can obviously be a great player moving forward. But I'm going to go Duke in this one. I don't think North Carolina's just ready just yet. So I'm going to go Duke with the win. I'm going to go 41-17 victory for Duke. I think Duke comes out on top. All right. I've got a couple more.